Your attention, please. I tripped over a pile of your Legos. Again. I didn't see them lying there abandoned like broken pieces of a desolate rainbow. I suppose you forgot to pick them up before you ran off, your wild floppy hair bouncing, your hands clenched into fists as you raced against time to ensure you could build a mechanized gate to your room. It's okay, my love. I cursed only once before bending down to pick them up from the tiled floor. 6 January 2007. I'm afraid what we're dealing with here is a case of ADHD, Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. My smile faltered. My hands froze mid-air, suspended in the vacuum between catching your giggles and flinging my shoe at the counselor's overly sympathetic face. It's that he can't concentrate on things for more than 10 minutes, and he can't sit still, you see. All the classic symptoms of ADHD. You were 2. I have heard grown adults tell me, "Oh, the speaker was good, I guess. I just have the attention span of a 2-year-old. Then explain this to me. How dare someone tell you, a 2-year-old, that, hey, you can't focus on things, so you must obviously have ADHD. It's the early 2000s. Primary and secondary schools have finally taken off their grey-tinted glasses and realized that the student population cannot simply be divided into the pure ivories of intelligence and capability and the ebonies of laziness and stupidity. They finally saw children as they were, amalgamations of brilliant rainbows, rainbows in the iridescence of soapy bubbles, rainbows floating like oil on rain puddles. And schools finally realized that they couldn't possibly capture all these rainbows within darkened boxes. So in the early 2000s, we could finally identify issues like, ADHD. Step 1 to finding a solution to a problem is accepting there is one in the first place. But then what? Shut the child up in a box labeled ADHD? And then have the audacity to ask them why they aren't okay? I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry that they use it as an excuse to explain your apparent poor academic performance. I'm sorry that they use it as an excuse for not learning more about it. I'm sorry that they use it as an excuse for our shortcomings in providing a wholesome education for you. I'm sorry that they labeled you and used the term diagnosis as an excuse. They don't realize that it's just a deficiency, not a disease or a disorder. They named it wrong. When you had that sudden calcium deficiency, what did we do? We just gave you a glass of milk after school and went on more ice cream dates. So when people tell you you have an attention deficiency, baby, know that you need nothing more than a little bit of attention. Attention from us. Attention from your teachers and attention from the world, because when you decide something deserves your whole unflinching attention, you do brilliant things. You create things out of nothing but colorful clusters of molecules and colorful wisps of your dreams. Just like Walt Disney built an empire with nothing but a mouse and his dreams. Did you know Walt Disney was exactly like you? And people called him lazy, a dreamer, way too ambitious for his own good. It's the same thing, baby. And I know. You tell me that it gets too hard sometimes to focus, that you forget things because you thought of something else and had to run to do it. I know how you feel. It's just that we don't have that ever-present secretary who dismisses all the irrelevant pieces of information that plead for an audience with us. It's not that we can't afford to hire one. It's just that we believe every thought, every lyric, idea, rhyme, and tiny thoughtlet deserves our attention. Baby, I want you to know that yes, you have ADHD, but you are not ADHD. You cannot be defined by a label that does a half-hearted job at explaining all that you are constituted of, like an FSSAI-approved label on the back of a cereal box that only highlights the sugar content. Baby, you are constituted of elements in the periodic table. You have iron flowing through your veins and stardust settled on your shoulders. Your mind isn't just a walnut-shaped mass of gray and white matter. It's a colorful silken tapestry, woven with electricity that twinkles in the embrace of the threads that crisscross in your cerebral cortex. Baby, I want you to know that your value does not decrease based on someone's inability to see your worth. Their inability to see your intellect, their inability to see all that you are capable of, in spite of it standing tall and proud like the Empire State Building dap smack in the middle of Manhattan. And baby, I want you to know that when you feel like ADHD is crippling you, when society's labels strangle you, when people tell you you can't concentrate or focus, they make fun of you, then dismiss you as a distracted dreamer, when you feel like no one understands you, know that I do. And know that I will stand by you as you break the manacles around your feet. And when the sunlight reflects off the broken shards and makes tiny rainbows on your skin, I want you to know that it is only the rainbow reflecting from within.